Hello everyone, this is the video on illustrations of chapter number 4, that is enterprise risk management. I have already covered the theory portion and already the videos are uploaded. You can watch that for theory part, as the weightage for this chapter is more in as per the scanners provided. So I thought to make the videos on the practical portion also, so that it would be easy for you to understand the things. So let's get started. It starts from page number 172 of SPM subject. Illustrations, there are hardly 7 questions. We'll solve how it's been solved, we'll see. And thank you for all the valuable feedback which you gave in the previous videos, and I'll be posting the required videos which you have commented below the videos. I'll be posting it within few days, so be tuned with it. So now, before going into the illustrations, it's required to know few concepts of how the questions have been based on few concepts, so we should be aware about it. So I have made some notes. We'll first see that. Now in this there are hardly 7 questions, so it covers most of the questions are based on Altman's model, that is the Z value model, Z score model. Okay, so there are two models in this, 1968 model and 1983 model. So in 1968 and 1983 there are only slight differences in the formulas provided, but see here the Z in 1968, Z is equal to 1.2 x1 plus 1.4 x2, 3.3 x3 plus 0.6 x4 plus 1.0 x5. Okay, so this is the 1968, but here the values are changing. This you have to learn and you have to memorize. There is no option for these values. You have to do it because it's been given by him. Okay, so we have to learn that the values. Now what this x1, x2, x5 this value states, that we have to know. Now x1 is equal to working capital upon total assets. X2, if you will see, there are x1 to x5 variables. Okay, in all of them the below is total assets, but the fourth point is different, and this different point is the difference lies for both of the models of 1983 also and 1968 also. This fourth point is different. Okay, so here in that below that it isn't having the total assets value. Okay, so you must consider this point differently. Now in every of the other x values, then in the denominator we are having the total assets. Okay, so now in the upper denominator, x1 we are having working capital, x2 retained earnings, x3 EBIT, x5 sales, and it's going to remain same for both the models. But what is there in x4 is, in below we are having total debt, but here market value of equity and preference share has been provided in 1968 model, and in 1983 book value is there. Earlier one considers market value and the later model considers book value. Okay, so this is the formula and this is the way of method of calculating. Now the analysis are also different. Now what is the analysis as per 1968 model? If we'll see, if the Z values, if we after calculating the Z value, if it's more than 2.99, that means it's a non-bankrupt company, non-failed company, it's a good company and it lies in the safe zone. While here the value is more than 2.9, here is 2.99, here it's 2.9. Okay, now if the value is less than 1.81 here, then it's a failed company, bankrupt company. Okay, and here the value is 1.23, the company is in distress. Now if the value lies between this both or this both values also and in between, it's known as gray area, means there are both the cases are there, like there are some non-failure elements also and there are some elements which can cause failure to the company. Okay, the same is the situation here, 1.23 and between 2.9. Okay, now as we saw here that as there are few terms, working capital, few ratios we have to find, so we must know what it includes and what it does not include as to calculate. Sometimes in the questions it's directly given, like the ratios are this and this and this, but in some questions we have to derive those values. So for derivation we have to know the formulas and the terms. So the working capital, what is known as working capital, is current assets minus current liabilities. Okay, total assets include fixed asset, current asset plus investments. Why its investments are given differently, if you think so, it's in this chapter it isn't considered under current assets, like fixed asset, current asset plus investment, so it's differently given under total assets. But we should not consider any preliminary or miscellaneous expense or P&L debit balance. Now why we should not consider preliminary or miscellaneous expense? If we look at it, because what are preliminary expenses? Means this fictitious assets, these all are fictitious assets. What are preliminary expenses? If we'll you might all be knowing, as a CMA final student, you might be knowing, like the expenses which happen before the incorporation of the company, like the registration charges of the company, legal charges for starting of a company. These are all the preliminary expenses which we have paid up for a number of years. So this has been written off every year for up to a certain number of years. Okay, maybe it's written off for 5 years or 10 years. So this, in fact, this is a prepaid expense. This could not be considered as an asset. And if you will see the as per the Companies Act schedule number 3, and in the format of balance sheet, it's not shown on the asset side, rather it's been deducted from the retained earnings, like reserves and surplus, general reserve would be there, plus P&L credit balance minus preliminary expenses are being shown. Like the balance sheet which has been provided in our questions are T-shaped balance sheet. Okay, so it's not as per the schedule 3 of the Companies Act. So that's why it includes preliminary expenses on the total asset side. Okay. So but here we have to see, we are not consider this portion. But in retained earnings, what are retained earnings? Retained earnings are the earnings all which have been profit after paying off all the expenses, all the liabilities, the profit of the company retained throughout all its previous years. It's known as retained earnings. So it includes all the reserves, surplus, general reserve, profit and loss credit balance minus preliminary expenses minus P&L debit balance expenses. Okay. Now in some questions we have to find the EBIT. Now you would think how the EBIT would be found. Sometimes it's been directly given EBIT, otherwise we know how to find. EBIT minus interest will give EBT, earning before tax, minus tax would give earning after tax. Okay, this earning is available for the shareholders. Okay, these are been available for shareholders. Okay, now if it's been divided with the number of shares, we'll get earning per share. One share, how much is the earning we'll get from this? Okay, so here this is the thing. Now let's go to the questions. So it would be, the things would get clarified. Like illustration number 1, page number 172, we have to find the Altman Z score and we have to comment on it, whether after that we have to analyze whether the values are more than 2.99 or not. So if you'll see, all the ratios have been given, working capital, retained earnings, total assets, EBIT, everything is given. Now the thing which we have to check is the 40, that is X4 value. If it's market value upon book value of total debt given, then it means this includes, this solution is to be done as per 1968 model. Okay, if here book value would be given, then we will have to go by 1983 model. So it's all similar, we have just put it into the formulas, and 1.2, all the ratios have been provided, just we have been calculated, and the value has come 4.115, and it's more than 2.99, that shows it's a non-bankrupt company. Okay, now illustration number 2, it's pretty simple. Like here also all the ratios are given, here also the market value is given, that means 1968 model we have to find, and 1968 model as the formula is already given by Altman, so we have to just put into the values 1.2 into 0.45 plus 1.4 into 0.25, such way, and we'll find the values, and we have to just check what's the answer and analyze upon and comment on that. So here the answer comes 6.38. The answer is 6.38, which shows it's more than 2.99. Therefore, that's a non-bankrupt company. Okay, now illustration number 3. Illustration number 3 says the same way working capital ratio is given, retained earning is given. Here, if you will see here, it's not given the market value, but the book value has been provided. So we have to go by 1983 model, as the difference lies here. Okay, so the 1983 model, the formula has been written. Now we have to just multiply with it. We can easily find. If this has been given in the percentage value, then the simple thing is we just have to convert it into decimal. That is, we'll divide it with 100. 50 divided by 100, we'll get 0.5, and we'll use that for multiplication. Then the answer won't be wrong. Okay, 19 divided by 100, 0.19, such way. Okay, so after calculating, we got 4.88, and what was the analysis ratio? That is 2.9 and 1.23. So 2.9, it's above than that. That means a non-bankrupt company. Okay, now illustration number 4. What illustration number 4 says, we have to find the Altman Z-score value only. But here if you'll see, there isn't given any of the ratios. Now we have to find that ratios. And if the question is silent about which model we have to use, then we will be having some clue, or if we are not having any clue, then we'll go by 1968 model. Here the market value has been provided, that itself shows that we have to go by 1968 model. And even if the question is silent, we have to use the 1968 model. Okay, so equity, share capital, and all these things are given. So we have to just open the notes in which we have to find, we have to check that. So the things we require is working capital. So what are working capital? Working capital is current assets minus current liabilities. Current assets is 2 lakh and current liabilities are, it's already given 1 lakh. So we got 1 lakh. Now total assets. What are total assets? Total assets, as I told, fixed assets, current assets and investments. We will not consider the fictitious assets. So if we'll check here, fixed assets are there, current assets are there. There are no investment, there are fictitious assets, but we will not consider it. So we got 5 lakh. Okay. Now the first ratio is completed. Now retained earnings. Retained earnings, I had given you big thing. That's this one. Check whether there is reserves and surplus. Yes, general reserves are there. Profit and loss credit balance is there. Okay, we'll add both of them. Is there anything else? Yes, preliminary expenses or fictitious assets are there, so we'll deduct from it. Okay, so here you can write like preliminary expenses. It could be also fictitious assets. Okay, its other name is fictitious assets included in that. So we'll deduct that. So we'll get the values like retained earnings, general reserve 75,000, 50,000 we will add and later deduct 25,000. So we'll get 1 lakh. Okay, total asset value is going to remain the same for everything. So no need to find again and again. Now EBIT, see whether EBIT is given. Oh, EBT is provided, earning before tax. So we'll check that. Now we are on here EBT, but we require EBIT. So if we are going reverse, then the signs would get changed. EBT plus interest, we will get the EBIT. Okay, so interest, for interest there are 10% debentures, 2 lakh, 10% would be 20,000. So adding that on EBT, 1,30,000 plus 20,000, that is 1,50,000, we got EBIT. Okay. Now market value of equity and preference share, as market value of each equity share has been provided as one share market value is 15. If we'll multiply the number of shares, here number of shares are 2 lakh of 10 each, that is 20,000, and here the number of shares are 1,000. So if we'll multiply those values, we'll get the market value, and if we'll add those. Okay, so we got here also. Now sales, the values are readily provided, so we have taken those values. Now just putting up the values in that model, we got the Z-score and it's 4.41, and this shows that the comment would be provided as it's non-failed company and non-bankrupt company. Okay. Now illustration number 5. Now hardly 2 illustrations are left. Altman models, we have to find Z-score, and they have not provided the ready the ratios. We have to find all those ratios. So as the market value is provided, that means we have to go by 1968 model. Okay, so the first thing is working capital. What is working capital? Current assets minus current liabilities. So current assets here are inventory And debtors, this book debts are known as debtors. This is the other name of book debtors. And loans and advances, cash at bank, these are all current assets. Current liabilities are this side. Here sundry creditors, outstanding expenses. Okay, these are current assets, but this is total debt. In current liabilities, we do not have to include debentures. Okay, in debt it comes debentures. Only this portion is the current liabilities. Okay, now total assets, just see fixed asset, current assets are there, whether any fictitious assets are there, not there, it's okay. So this 7 lakh would be our assets, total assets. Now retained earnings, as I told, reserves and surplus minus fictitious assets. There is no fictitious assets, so this is only the retained earnings. Now EBIT, just see whether any clue is there. If EBT is given, we can find EBIT. But here operating profit is being provided as 1,40,000 operating profit. So what are operating profit? Operating profit itself is EBIT. As we know, this is just, it does not include the interest expense and non-cash expense. It does not includes. Okay, so it's EBIT. If we will deduct interest, we will get EBT, and this EBT is known as net profit. So EBIT is also known as operating profit. Okay, so we got the 1,40,000. Now we require market value of equity and preference shares. Okay, so just multiplied with the number of shares, we got the market value. Sales value is given as 20. Operating profit is 20% on sales. Like operating profit is 20% on sales, so we have taken sales as an X, and operating profit already 1,40,000 is given. 20% on X will remain here. This 20%, if we will divide, we will get as 7 lakh. So this is how we got all the values. Now just putting it into the model, the formula, we will get the value as 2.36078. If you will see, this value is, it lies between 1.88, I think, wait a minute, 1.81 and 2.99. That means it lies in a gray area, and it has both the components, that is non-failure components also, as well as bankrupt elements also. It's a mixture of both of them, so we have to investigate upon it. And yes, this is the comment which has been provided when it lies between both these values. Okay, now illustration number 6. It's little bit a tricky one. You can note it important, as the day before exam you can solve all the questions, but this question you have to anyhow solve these questions before going to exam. Now the same way we have to calculate the Z score. As the question is all silent, we'll go by what method? 1968 model. And so we require to find all those things, again the ratios. So the X1 is equal to working capital upon total assets. Working capital is current assets minus current liabilities. As I told you that our total assets are fixed asset plus current asset plus investment. I did not include investment in this current assets because in our book, some as in inter also, we had some questions in which we included investments as current assets, but in some questions we did not include investment as a current assets. So as in this chapter we are not including this as a current asset. It's been treated differently. So in current assets we should not include investment, only stock, debtors would come. Current liabilities, as I told, current liabilities already provided as 3 lakh. So if we'll 1,25,000 plus 75,000 would give 2 lakh, minus 3 lakh would give negative value 1 lakh. So negative value is there, we'll keep the negative value on. Okay. Now total assets are fixed assets, trade investments, current assets. Should not consider this preliminary expense. So if we'll deduct from this, we'll get 14 lakh. Okay, so we got that. Now retained earnings are nothing, reserves and surplus, and like this will deduct preliminary expenses. So we got the values 2 lakh. Now EBIT, for finding EBIT, see whether it's been provided. If we'll see, there is nowhere provided EBT or EBIT, but some clue is given, so we can find through that, like dividend value is given, dividend per share value is given, we can find easily. Like let's check here. See, if you will see, what they have given is dividend payout ratio is been provided. Like here dividend payout ratio is given, dividend per share is been given. Okay, so if you'll see this EPS, what we get here, the EPS, from this EPS is dividend is been paid, okay, to a shareholder. So they have provided us payout ratio as 50%, dividend per share is 20. Okay, so from this EPS, this dividend per share would be provided, but they are telling that the payout ratio is, dividend payout ratio is 50% of EPS. Okay, and they have given this value as 20. The outcome is 20. So if we are required to find the EPS, we can easily find as EPS would be what, 20 divided by 50%. So calculation would provide us as 40. Okay, so we got EPS. Now we are here, like we got here EPS. Now we are going reverse calculation. So as we are going reverse calculation, all the signs would get changed. Divide would be multiply, minus would be plus. Okay, so we are here, like we are got the 40. Now if we'll multiply with number of shares are 4,000. 4 lakh divided by 100, we got 4,000. So multiplying that, we got here 1,60,000. Okay, now we are going this way. So I'll show as EBT minus tax would give EAT. So we are here 1,60,000. We got this much. Now we require this. If in the question has been provided, tax rate is 50%. Tax rate is 50% means if EBT is 100, tax rate is 50%, EAT would be 50. 100 minus 50 would give 50. So we are here like 1,60,000, 50's value. What is this value? So this is easy. Cross multiplication divided by 50. We will get here 1,60,000. Okay, now reverse calculation. We will add this both. We will get 3,20,000. Now if we'll add the interest value, we'll get EBIT. Interest value is 12% debentures, 3 lakh into 12%, 36,000, 2 lakh into 10%, 20,000. So adding this, we got EBIT as 3,76,000. This is how it's been solved. Now sales value is already been given. Now what we require else is market value of equity and preference share. Market value, if we'll see, the market value isn't provided, but some other clue is been provided, like here price earning ratio is given. What is price earning ratio? Price upon E, okay, EPS, MPS upon EPS. So from this we can find the market price per share. Okay, so here 10 is been provided, EPS we already found. So multiplying this, we got MPS, one value market price we got, multiplying with the number of shares, we got market price, market value of equity and preference shares as 16 lakh. So all the values are now readily available. We solved it. So multiplying everything, this would be negative value only, and everything if we will multiply, we got 3.6294. Then also the company is having good value and it's in safe zone. It's non-bankrupt company. Now the last question, what the question says here, everything has been given, balance sheet has been provided. We do not have to find the Z-score value, we have to find the stage of sickness. For finding this, the stage of sickness, we are having another model, that is NCAER model. NCAER model. In this model, what we have to do is, we have to find three things, that is cash profit, net working capital, net worth. Net working capital we already know, it's current asset minus current liabilities. What are net worth? Net worth means the equity portion, that is what the company owners, shareholders own. So what the company owners hold, if you'll see up to this much part, from this much part it is the same retained earnings formula, just we have to add the share capital. Okay, so we'll get the net worth. And in cash profit we have to find is the question, in the question net profit would be provided. So the net profit includes the both depreciation and other expenses, but we know in depreciation there isn't any cash flow happening. Okay, Okay, it's a non-cash expense, non-cash expense. And like preliminary expenses written off, this all are non-cash expense, we are just writing it off, we are not paying any cash. Okay, just we are writing it off. So these are all non-cash expenses, so we'll have to add those expenses to get the cash profit. From net profit we will add those, because it's, in fact they are not the now they are not the cash expenses, so we have to avoid this. And non-cash incomes would be subtracted, as the appreciation, such type of things are to be subtracted. So here provisions are also non-cash expenses, because we aren't having any cash flow in the provisions, we are just setting it aside, the sum of the values we are setting it aside, and we are treating it as an expense. Okay, so this is how cash profit and everything value will come. Now how it's been analyzed: if these three values, if any one is negative, that means the company can become sick, there is a chance of becoming sick. If two values are negative, any of the two values are negative, it means it shows incipient sickness, means the company's, the sickness has is just beginning to happen, matlab it's just going to start, the sickness is just going to start. Here it may become sick, here the beginning stage has been started. Okay, and if all the three are negative, that means the company is fully sick. अगर एक वैल्यू नेगेटिव हुआ तो उसका मतलब कंपनी सिक होने की चांसेस है, अगर दो वैल्यू नेगेटिव हुआ उसका मतलब स्टार्ट होने की तैयारी है या फिर हो गई है स्टार्ट, सिक होने का चांसेस स्टार्ट हो चुका है, और तीनों वैल्यू नेगेटिव हो तो मतलब कंपनी इज़ फुल्ली सिक. So here the same way, cash profit position we have to find. So cash profit is, net profit has been provided, here the company is having net loss, so we have written here net loss. Now what we'll do, we'll add the non-cash expenses, we'll check non-cash expenses are 8 lakh, preliminary expenses if any provisions are there, if there is any non-cash income we'll add those things. So after doing that we got this as minus 16 crore. Net working capital is current assets minus current liabilities. Here this current liability should have come here printed, it's been wrongly printed, so if we'll minus here also the value is negative. Now net worth as I told, reserves and surplus, minus and all those things, but there are only share capital, and here P&L debit balance has been subtracted, so we got net worth also negative. If we'll see, all the three values are negative. On finding the three values negative, the company is a sick company. Okay, and immediate measures are to be taken for the survival of the company, it's fully sick company. So here it ends. I hope you understood all those things. I'll be sharing the all the notes in the Telegram channel, so you can find from there, and if any doubts just comment below so that I can solve your queries. And thank you for being with me so far.